Fifth Hour Radio Show.
Joe, let's take a trip back in time. What spurred your interest in music enough to learn how to play yourself and to start writing your own songs?
Well, I started early when I was 10 years old with playing in the school orchestra. I don't know why I started writing my own songs. Probably because I could do it, I guess, when I got a guitar from my dad when I was like 15, I think, and it was really easy to play, and I just started writing songs then.
Was it something that just came natural to you, I guess?
Yeah, it's a gift. I've never worked very hard at. I mean, I worked hard at certain aspects of it, but it's just a gift. I just do it.
Yeah, it's something you like to do. I ask that question to a lot of people, and they always say it was because of the girls.
Well, I think maybe in a way switching to the guitar was from the trombone was that, but I also like the music has always been something that I do for myself, and I've always been amazed that people wanted to listen to me do it. But I still do it for myself.
Yeah. Can you remember the first song you ever learned how to play?
Well, the first song that I wrote was called "I Seen a Rocket," about a science fiction song about a rocket coming down to Earth and me driving in my car in the desert and seeing a space monster come out of the rocket.
That seems natural. You were young.
Well, and also there was like at the time of the Purple People Eater song and Martians and stuff like that, and the Day the Earth Stood Still. It was a time in the 50s with when people were fascinated by Martians.
Did you ever get nervous playing in front of an audience? At least first, when your career in music first started.
I don't get nervous in that way. Sometimes I get nervous, but generally speaking, I like to know what I'm going to do, and I'm more nervous talking one-on-one with people than I am in front of an audience. And sometimes I get nervous if whether the ideas that we have are going to work or not. But I don't. No, I feel pretty comfortable in front of people performing on a stage.
Yeah. What do you consider your first big break into the music scene? I mean, what got you noticed and got your name out there?
Well, the big break for me, there was two. I mean, one was being a part of the San Francisco rock and roll scene and part of a band that got signed up. So, but individually, it had to be singing at Woodstock one particular song and having it featured in the movie and the record. That was my big break as far as being a solo performer.
Well, let's talk about Woodstock for a second. As far as the other musicians there, did you interact with them before or after your performance and maybe discuss how this event was really turning into something really special?
I knew it was going to be pretty good because of all the different groups playing. We played at events that had a lot of groups, festivals before, and that's the reason that I wanted to go out and see it. So I deliberately went out early and went on stage and watched the other bands play and stuff like that. I don't remember talking to other performers very much about it. We just kind of, we were going to work, so that's the thing. We were showing up at work, and it was a good day at work.
Yeah, a really good day. Now you had two sets there, right?
Yeah, by accident. I filled in before Santana as a solo performer because they wanted to kill some time because Santana's equipment hadn't got there. And then the Country Joe and the Fish Band was the band that was hired. I wasn't hired to play solo. And then they performed later that day, and I think it was Sunday, yeah.
Now, how was the weather there on your first performance? Was it ever really nasty while you were performing?
No, when I performed solo before Santana, it was beautiful weather. It was sunshiny, like a spring summer day, and it was all good, really.
Now, the song you're most remembered by at Woodstock was "I-Feel-Like-I'm-Fixin To-Die." What was going through your mind when you wrote that song?
I was thinking about the Vietnam War because I've been I had a job writing some songs about protest about the Vietnam War for a play, a musical play that was going on. And I wrote one song. It was pretty difficult. It took me a couple of days. Called "Who Am I?" That Country Down the Fish played, and then that song just popped into my head. And I think I just drew upon experiences I'd had in the military myself, and growing up in a left-wing family, and playing Dixieland music when I was a kid. So I just popped. It really only took about 30 minutes to do that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was it one of those songs that just came about quickly once you started writing it, or like so many hit songs by other artists?
Yeah, it came about very quickly when I got the idea, and then just started writing. I wrote the whole thing in like I said, about 30 minutes.
What was the most memorable experience that you brought back with you from performing, there at Woodstock?
Oh, gee, there were so many. There were so many great performances, great experiences. From the bands and the audience and the people. I don't think I have one, but I mean, for me, I guess it would have to be when I did the cheer and everybody started responding to it. That was
the crowd participation.
A pretty exciting moment for me, and a memorable moment politically speaking. That a verification that we as a generation had some pretty emotional, strong feelings about the Vietnam War.
Yeah. Do you think there'll ever be another event that even comes close to the feeling of a generation that Woodstock had?
Well, it's hard to say, with the social media the way it is now and the global communication. It is possible to have a global event that surpasses Woodstock, involving 100 million people, perhaps. It's a thing that happened spontaneously, and it wasn't the only event in human history that happened spontaneously. So you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like you said, with social media and the way the world has come together, with the internet, you never know, really, do you?
No, you don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But there is music is still a very powerful thing. American music is America's gift to the world, and it's everywhere, and it's hated and loved by everybody, and people still want to get together, and they still want to have a good time, and they still want to collectively do things together, and these things spontaneously happen if I don't know, there's not really a way to predict it. We couldn't have predicted what had happened there. I mean, when you think about it, it was like they expected 50,000 people maybe if it was successful, and they got 500,000.
Yeah. So what do you got going on for yourself right now? I mean, like you said, you don't perform as much as you used to. Do you have any kind of projects that you do on the horizon?
Well, I'm working on an autobiography with an editor, and it's kind of getting done at the moment. It's the story of my life, but it's also the story of Fixin To Die Rag and the cheer and the adventures that particular song has had. That's the arc. And maybe it'll be published by a publishing company here in Berkeley called Counterpoint that we're talking to. And also I do the life of Florence Nightingale. I've been studying her for a long, long time, and I have a presentation of song and spoken word that I've been doing, and I occasionally do that for nurse groups, and maybe I'm going to do that for this nursing school in San Francisco. And I think that's about it.
Before we get off here, I like to dig into our guest's personal life a little bit. Now, you spoke just a little bit on what you're doing right now. What do you do for fun and relaxation outside of, your hobbies or your career? You got TV shows, you like to travel or anything like that?
Well, I certainly don't like to travel anymore. I've traveled, the other day we're counting up, I think I did about probably about 3,000 one-night stands in my career. I'm enjoying staying home, and I'm enjoying not traveling, and I like helping around the house. My wife still works, and we enjoy those reality TV shows, Big Brother and Survivor.
Yeah, so does a lot of other people, so you're no different there.
They're fun, and I used to watch these NCIS and those CSI, those fictional TV violence shows about cops and stuff, and I don't know, just the reality of gun violence in America. I stopped doing that. I don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, it's getting.
And I watch the news, unfortunately. But I have kids that are grown, but they're near close by, and I enjoy I really do enjoy being at home, and it's just only this year that I have really stopped making plans to travel and perform, and
just going to sit back and enjoy the good life.
Well, I'm enjoying life, because as a performer, it's funny. It seems to the public that you're having a pretty exciting personal life being a performer, but you're really just showing up to work is what you're doing, and you have a lot of co-workers, but it's hard to have a personal life. It's a rough life. It's rough.
Well, that's probably why you enjoy sitting at home so much now, kind of being out of the spotlight a little bit.
Yeah, I do. I was reluctant to be in the spotlight my whole life, and I do enjoy just being another guy in town.
What about websites and social media? I know you got a website. Do you mind plugging it for all our listeners?
Well, you do it. It's countryjoe.com. I have a Florence Nightingale website too. I started on the web, 10 or 15 years ago, but I don't. I got Facebook pages, but I just can't get Facebook, and I got a Twitter account, and I can't get Twitter. It just seems like a damn waste of time to me.
A lot of people I'm a Facebook guy, but I still can't grasp Twitter that much.
Well, my wife was reluctant to get on Facebook, and then finally I set her up a Facebook page, and she has about 100 real friends and people that she knows that she interacts with on Facebook. But I just don't get it. But I'm a pretty antisocial person anyway. I don't really enjoy being sociable. So I guess for social networking, they should have an antisocial network site.
You'd be all over it, huh?
Right.
Well, Joe, man, thank you for taking time out of your day. I really appreciate it. It's been one of my highlights of this show to be able to talk to you.
Oh, great. Well, thanks for having me on.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.